Today we're going to be looking at how to set this microphone system up. We're going to be looking at the build quality, audio quality, the range, and whether this will replace my beloved Tascam DR-10L. I was recently tasked with filming 20 interviews at work, and at around the same exact time, Comica, a microphone company, reached out and asked if I'd be willing to try out their new CVM WM300A wireless mic set. For this project, audio workflow and efficiency were my #1 priority. I had like 3 weeks to complete the project. I've got other responsibilities, so I just needed efficiency. So I went on faith that this $370 audio kit would get the job done, and whether it did or not, we'll definitely get into. Hey everyone, I'm Nolan. I'm a videographer, not a filmmaker, and I make videos about Panasonic cameras, video gear, and things kind of like that. So do with that what you will. All right, so setting up these mics is actually pretty easy. To turn each unit on, press and hold the power button for a few seconds, screw in the lav mic, connect the receiver to your camera, and you're pretty much ready to go once you make sure your settings are correct. Now the settings that worked for me on the transmitters going down the line are mic low cut filter to off, RF power to low to conserve battery, and I set muting to disabled because I don't want any of my interviewees or talent to press any buttons. Now the receiver is set to output mode, mono for one person, and switch to stereo when I interviewed 2 people side by side. Now that's a pretty easy setting to forget about, so make sure to monitor your audio before you're recording so you know that you're not getting, both people in a mono feed. Also make sure to mirror your power to on and volume to 1 on both group A and group B, because you don't want one channel to be really loud, one channel to be really quiet. And the reason I have the volume low, set to 1, is that my Lumix cameras have preamps that only go down to -12 decibels, so it's really easy to clip audio, so that's just something to look out for. Now moving on to build quality, these mics actually come protected inside of a Pelican style case, which to me is a huge win in my book and gives me peace of mind that no matter where I bring these mics, they'll be protected from any and all abuse in the trunk of my car. But honestly, I'm not sure they even need the protection because the receiver and transmitters are built so well. They feel so solid in the hand and have a nice metal, well-built weight to them. I don't foresee these units themselves having any build issues going forward. One part that I did have issues with was the cold shoe receiver mount that sits on top of the camera. It's completely made of plastic, and for complete transparency, it arrived inside of the case, inside of the packaging, snapped into like 10 pieces. Comica was nice enough to mail me a brand new mount, but I think this part could definitely use improving and should probably be metal and not plastic. Now when it comes to battery life, these came fully charged, and after 20 interviews that averaged probably around 5 to 10 minutes a piece, so that's what, like 2-ish hours, 2 to 3 hours of recording. I was shooting some interviews with 2 people using both transmitters, some were just 1, but anyway, these claim 14 hours of standby time in low power mode, and they seem to live up to that because all of my units at the end of the project had 2 out of 3 bars of battery, which to me is super impressive. Now one cool feature is you can monitor your transmitter battery life right on the receiver. I'm not sure if others do this, but that was super nice to have, so I knew that, it wasn't running out of battery in the middle of an interview. Now the audio quality of this mic is pretty good, and you're hearing it right now. There is one issue that I didn't really anticipate, which I'll get to later, but between this and the DR-10L's audio quality, I'll let you decide. I'm gonna do a quick mic test, testing the Comica wireless transmitter microphone that comes with the kit, and then I'm gonna be going back and forth between the Tascam DR-10L. So this is the Tascam DR-10L just outside, I'd say about 8 inches from my face, and right here centered, taped to my shirt. So here's what it sounds like, just me talking in video. We're actually preparing to do a video shoot for the TT Artisans 50mm lens video, so I just decided I would do a test as part of that. So here's the other microphone now. I'm just gonna read the script for the video that we're working on. In this video, we're gonna be taking a look at the tiny but really surprising TT Artisans 50mm f2 lens for L mount. So back to the other mic, you can hear the difference now. Now for range, I don't know when the heck I'll ever need to really push it, but might as well test it out. All right, so low power mode claims around 30 to 60 meters, or for us Americans, 90 to 180 feet. So I'm gonna pace out 90. I've got the transmitter sort of on the side, a little bit behind me, and we're just gonna see how this transmitter does. And also, how about that autofocus? Lumix S5, not bad. All right, we're about, I'd say 40 to 50-ish feet away. Does it sound good? I hope so. All right, this is anywhere from 75 to 90 feet away. I've still got a straight shot to it. I've got a couple things in the way. You can see this little stone wall and then a tree. Yeah, so here's how it sounds. I'm gonna take a step behind one of these so we can see how it does. I'm gonna talk while I'm stepping behind it. We're at the low limits right now of the emitters capabilities. Again, around 90 feet away. So let's push the limits a little bit. We're at, I would say, 150 feet, maybe 120 to 150. Again, I don't know when the heck I'll ever use this, but does it work? A couple obstacles in the way. Let's see, I'm at 50 paces right now, so we'll go a little bit farther away. All right, so this is what they claim limits. Oop, behind a tree. This is what they claim to be the upper limits of this receiver in low power mode. I'm gonna switch it to high power mode to see if you guys can hear it. All right, over here. All right, so we're right around 240 feet away, around 80 meters, and this is, I don't know if you can tell from the camera, but this is really far away. So does it work? Does it sound okay? 37, 38, 39, 40, so that's over 300 feet. This is about a football field, a little over a football field away, I think. I think that's how long a football field is. How does it sound? Does it sound good? Can you hear me all right? This is the upper end of its range, so. All right, so that's the range test. I think it'll work out fine for my needs. I really don't think I'm gonna need anything that far away, but I'll let you decide. All right, so 2 questions to answer. Did it work for the interviews, and will it replace my DR-10L? I just can't see myself moving completely away from the DR-10L just yet. I still believe in having a closed audio system, especially at the events that I film where I don't want to risk interference or signal issues. Sure, it would be great to monitor audio wirelessly, but I've never had a single issue with the DR-10L after miking over 100 different people in a ton of different situations. So I trust the DR-10L, but I really don't trust the electromagnetic frequencies flying through the air. Now for the wireless mics, I would say for the interviews, it was the perfect setup. It would have been a huge pain to film 20 plus people with 20 plus audio tracks to sync and post and hope I don't lose track of them when I'm managing files. So for those types of bulk interview scenarios, using this wireless system saved me so much time and kept things really simple. And at this point in my video career, so to say, honestly, function and efficiency mean a lot more to me than even just a slight bump in quality. But when it comes to the quality, the audio quality is good enough for my needs, and a little EQ can go a really long way. But one thing that EQ can't fix that really frustrated me during my 20 interviews was the fact that the noise floor wasn't consistent across my interviews. I had a few interviews where I could clearly hear the noise floor static, and maybe it was mild interference or maybe it was user error at some point, but when we presented the video in front of a couple hundred people in a big auditorium, it was a bit more obvious, and maybe no one noticed, but I definitely did. So there didn't really seem to be a rhyme or reason. Maybe the person talking was just quieter and I had to raise up their voices more, which obviously brings up the noise floor, but not to say it's bad by any stretch of the imagination. It was enough that I noticed the noise floor and it frustrated me a little bit. Now, both audio systems definitely have their place, and I would definitely recommend this Comica wireless system if you're in the market for a really well-built prosumer wireless lav system. I think this will last you a really long time. It's a quality setup. You can pick one up in the description below, and I really appreciate you guys for watching.